What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am out here today trying to change the sleeper airbag or the cab airbags on my Volvo, and I have finally got it out of there. I started out with taking the linkage loose over there on the leveling valve over there and pushing it down so that it would raise the cab up with airbags. I stuck a block of wood up under there, right there under the little bump stop, and then let it back down so that it would hold the cab up so I could get the bag out. And I had ordered the new bags, which came in wrong the first time, and the second time I ordered them, I called the Volvo dealership. I ordered the first ones off the internet. The second time I called the Volvo dealership and gave them a VIN number, and this is what they sent me. Well, they looked a little different, but I figured they were the updated version, and hopefully they are. But the old one here is a little bigger around, but it was about the same compressed height and everything, so I figured it's probably just an updated version. But anyway, it's got a stud on top of it, so I figured it had a nut inside the truck. Because every airbag that I've seen with a stud on it or something, or a bolt, has a nut on the other side. So I go up inside the truck here and start checking things out. It's got this big floor mat in here, okay? So I said, well, there's probably a spot up under the floor mat, if I just cut that out because it's so much trouble to get this thing out, that there's probably a spot there to where you can take it out with like a little plug here. So I cut this section of floor mat out, and yeah, there was a little bitty plug right here. I pulled it out and it doesn't go anywhere. So I was in the right section, so I just started cutting the darn floor of the truck out. I just cut all this out right here so I could see to get in here, so I could see what I was working with. And so I did that, and then I got over in here. I'm gonna shine you over in there so you can see. See the hole right there? That's a nut cert, which is attached to the body of the truck. So instead of being a nut where you can put a socket on it and tighten it up, it's a nut cert, which means the airbag has to turn. And so I went, well, that's really nice, because how am I going to turn this airbag? And so I decided to cut the airbag in half with my knife, and this plate right here goes on top of the airbag like that right there, and this stud sticks through like that. Well, it's all corroded together, and I couldn't get the darn thing to turn, so I cut it in two, and I finally got a pipe wrench, a 24-inch pipe wrench right here, 24-inch pipe wrench on there. I got it to bite right there, and bowed up on it, I got it to move a little bit. And I turn and turn and turn and turn, and of course you can see where it's at up in there. I mean, you can't hardly get to it. And you can see the other one on the other side, it needs to be changed too over there. I'll zoom you right there. But you see how the plate sets on top of it, and all the corrosion that's up in there. So anyway, I finally got this thing apart. It is slam full of corrosion, as you can see there. I mean, that's just nasty stuff. And this is part of that metal plate that is totally rusted the piece of metal out of the plate here. Right there, you can see where that was inside of there. It used to be a part of that plate. It's completely rusted that out. But yeah, anyway, I got it out. And on the bottom side, it has this stupid little washer thing that you can't get off, so I just broke it out. And so this is the new bag, and you see where it's like that. It's not getting a washer thing on the bottom of it. And so I'm just going to screw it up in there, and I'm going to put some grease on it, of course. But so the plate's going to go on top of this one, like that right there. And it's going to go back up in that hole there. So if you were like me and could not figure out how to get these darn things out of here, because I mean, there's nowhere to put a wrench to make these things unscrew, so I assumed that there was a nut on the top side up inside there somewhere, but there's not. It does unscrew, but you're going to have a really good time if your truck's as old as mine is, which it probably is if you're replacing the airbags, because this thing is 04 and then it's almost 2018. So you can do the math on that and figure out how old these airbags are that was leaking. And they're leaking at the bottom right here. You can see right there where it's all dry rotted at, where they were leaking all the way around there. And so anyway, I finally got the thing out of there. I did some a whole bunch of sawing that I didn't really have to do, so I'll save you guys some time. And if you thought they come out of there that way, well, they don't. So let me get some grease on this, and I'm gonna get started putting it back up in there and getting the air line hooked back up to it. It's just got a little 90-degree fitting with a push connect fitting right there. So let me get back over here and get this going back together. All right, guys, I got the new one on there. It went in there a whole lot easier than it doesn't come out. When that thing fills up with air, it does take the shape of the other one. You can see the air coming back out of it now, and it's kind of going back to the new shape. So I guess when they were new, they were that shape, and then once they get old and they expand, they take the other shape. So I've never really seen that on any other airbags, like on suspension or anything. But anyway, I guess that's the way these work. So I'm gonna go around there and see if I can get the other side apart by unscrewing it like you're supposed to, instead of cutting half the cab and everything out. So let me go around there and see if I can get it apart, and I'll be right back with you. All right, guys. Well, apparently the nutsert is turning up inside of that channel, so I'm going to have to cut the inside of the floor out, just like I did the other side, and try to figure out how to get that loose. I've turned that thing around and around and around and around, and it will not come out of there. So I'm going to cut the floor out on this side over here, just like I did the other side. Try to get in there and get to it, and try to figure out how to hold the thing and get it out of there. Alright guys, I got the floor cut out on this side here, as you can see. You can see over down in there, and you can see the little nutsert thingy. So I got to figure out how to hold that and unscrew the airbag at the same time, because I don't think a socket will get on that because it's a square little nutsert thing. All right, guys, had to go to Napa for a minute. I went up there and got two nuts. I just in case I lost one or something other. They're 10 millimeter by 1.5. It's a thread, and I'm just gonna stick this up in there, put the plate on it, stick it up in there, put the nut on from the inside like it should have been to start with, I guess. But anyway, so that ought to be pretty simple. All right, guys, I got the new nut put on there. You can see down in there. And it's all installed there. So I will crank the truck, let it air up. Alright, guys, got them all on there, got them aired up and everything like they're supposed to be. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.